Hello, everyone, and welcome to Six Figure Souls, Doing Good and Making Money. This is a special season 5 highlighting my co-authors of our collaborative book project, The Ultimate Guide to Creating Your Soul-Aligned Business, 25 Practical Strategies from the Expert. I am your host, Camille Miller, lead author for the book and pioneer for the soul professional movement. Today, we are interviewing our author, Robin Mooney, of chapter 25, Leading with Soul, How to Bring Your Unique Genius to Life. She is a purpose coach, right? Welcome, Robin. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning. Thanks so much, Camille, for having me. It's just been thrilled to be on this journey with you and to be here today.
Yeah, I can't believe you're my last interview, chapter 25. And it's just been such an amazing journey. And now that we're starting to recruit for our second book, right, about becoming a six-figure soul professional, I feel like, and it's been a year, like I started this journey a year ago, I decided to do this first book. So it's kind of like full circle for me. And now I'm interviewing the author of our last chapter. And I'm like, wow, I even talked to my marketing team. I was, let's really release all of this stuff, you know, to get ready for the second book. And it's just so exciting. Like a year ago, I almost decided not to do it. And it was literally our publisher, Laura, that was like, you got to do this. The world needs this book. And we haven't put out a business book for soul-aligned people, right? Let's do this. And it was life-changing for me. So I want to hear what it was like for you too. Are you a first-time author?
I'm a first-time author. I'm a lifetime wannabe author.
Yes, same here. And this was the easiest way for me to do it. Right, to do it with others, and I loved the experience.
You know, I am so grateful to be part of this, and I loved the idea of collaborating with other authors. It was amazing because for me personally, what it did was it kind of pushed me out of the nest, like the
Yes.
Are You My Mother book, out of the nest, because I knew that I wasn't doing this alone. There was a community, and frankly, between you and Laura, I mean, fierce champions for your calling and then how to create a business book that is based on being really soul aligned.
Yeah.
I thought, okay, these are my people. I can do this. So hopefully the last chapter is the punctuation mark for your book, because I know you wrap up the book with a really beautiful chapter. And yeah, this has been an amazing, life-changing journey for me as well.
Awesome. So let's first tell our audience a little bit about you, what you do. You want to share that with us?
Yes. May I share a day job and then my
whatever you like,
side gig, my side hustle, which is really my soul-based coaching. Well, my day job is director of business development for DJ Architecture. We're an architecture and design firm, and in a very interesting industry that has typically been very male dominated for centuries. And I had the opportunity to come in and really help transform the organization and come alive, connect our head with our heart, and really start talking about who we are, what's our purpose, what's our why, and what's the impact that we are making on the community with the work that we do. But I knew that we couldn't go out into the community to do that unless we did that internally. It's the foundation. So I'm super grateful for that. And then I do bring intentional soul-based business and language into every interaction that I have with my people and with my clients. And I hug my people. I tell them I love them. I also do the same with my clients. You know what? And it is so awesome to be able to have people say, oh my God, I'm so grateful that there's somebody showing up in the world that's really willing to be very, very transparent and very authentic and really leading with the heart and being very intentional. And then my side hustle, which I've been doing for several years, is doing purpose coaching. And I initially was trained by Martha Beck as a Wayfinder life coach, which totally brought me to the depths of, you know, really uncovering all of my warts. But that's where the healing happened. And then, you know, and then I also do purpose coaching using soul-based, really soul's calling training that I got from Bev Barnes, who is just a master at helping folks uncover their unique genius, which is how I learned how to do this and develop these questions and weave them into both my side gig and then also my day-to-day work.
Beautiful, beautiful. So why did you decide now was the time to become the author, to write your story, to share it with us?
Well, first of all, I have to say that I'm grateful for you to reach out to me because there must have been something in my profile and just the things that I've been posting where you thought, okay, this woman is doing the work that aligns with the book. I had been seeking out, trying to find a way to use my voice to talk about this work and share it with others in a more global way. And so I think you and I have talked about this, our whole community has talked about this. When we're ready and we set the intention,
Yeah.
I will say the universe, but then we attract the right people into our lives. And I have been aching to tell my story on how to help people on their journey really be seen and heard and valued and contribute. And corporate world has never created a space for that. And I've known from a very young age that this is a space that needs somebody that's willing to carry the baton. And between you and Laura, and then creating this space, I'm like, I was scared to death to do this. I'm like, oh my God, now I have to do what I say I want to do. And I thought, okay, Robin, you have to jump because the world is ready. They needs to hear what you have to say because you really can help others come alive and live into their brilliance and discover their genius. And just really, it's a pebble in the water, I think.
Yeah.
One person and then the next and the next and the next and the next. And we are changing the vibration of the firm,
All of that.
their clients with the world.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think other people have to hear the stories. And there's probably so many people that either bought the book or they're listening to this podcast that are kind of sitting on the sidelines going, can I really? Can I do this? Can I make money doing this? Right? When I serve people and want to give from my heart and my soul or do things that is aligned with who I am, can I really make a business? Right? And I'm here to say, yes, you can.
Yes.
Right? But because I feel, we said this before the camera was on, I feel like I went to business school, I have an MBA, and we were taught this way of, now I graduated my MBA in 95, so it's decades old. And now they have entrepreneurship.
Yes.
Ones that they didn't have back then, right? We were expected to be CEOs, but we were taught a very ego way of doing business.
Yes.
Yeah. And when I went for the MBA, now they give them out like chiclets. But when I went for an MBA, you had to work for 2 years and apply for a program to be accepted. You didn't just go from college. It was a very different degree than it is today. But they taught you a very specific way of doing things. Like, this is the way it was do it. This is how the consumer reacts. This is what you do. This is behavior, right? It was a very way. And I have changed everything. Like, my whole thing is about doing things differently, disrupting the status quo, and letting people know that you can create anything you want in alignment with who you are and do it your way. Because your way is the strategy that's going to work for you, not what everyone else tells you.
That is so true. And you asked me something about why did I choose to do the book now? I knew that my voice alone had power, but collectively, 25 voices of other humans who are doing similar work, but very different practices, just created, again, this community and kind of this space for people to come together and think about soul-aligned businesses, but also it lent credibility. It really gave more of a global voice to what a soul-based business is, that it's not just woo-woo, that there really are practical strategies that do make an impact on people's lives and as well as our businesses and our income, frankly.
Yeah. And we're building wealth doing it. We're just doing it differently. And that's okay. I want to jump into your chapter really quick.
Yes.
Because I felt like it was brilliant. Very, very inspiring.
Thank you.
Loved how you told your story and the different sections of it about your childhood. And then you went into your own issues and what had happened along your way.
Right.
That gave you a traumatic brain injury, correct? Yeah.
Yeah.
And one of the things you wrote in here is, I love this because you believed that it was like a sign from the universe. I believe the universe saved my life. And I thought that was so beautiful. I underlined it because you say, I was in a spiritual desert And I had been living in my head for most of my life as I learned survival response.
Mhm.
To me, it was like, wow, way to turn around something that happens to you and look for the light. And one of the things that I've been practicing lately, very new, is to remind myself, I get to, right? When anything happens that's wrong, I always say, well, I get to fix it. I get to be a part of this. I get to learn from it, right?
Yeah.
No matter what it is, I get to. And I feel like you embodied this in your chapter of I get to, and I'm going to learn from it.
Thank you so much, because I will tell you that when I was writing the chapter, I thought that was critical to share, but I felt incredibly vulnerable sharing them because, you know, friends and colleagues and others are going to read this. And I thought, oh my God, the people that I worked with, they really know now that I felt like I was in a spiritual desert. What are they going to think of me? But you're right. I get to versus I have to. I chose to after my TBI, frankly. You know, I was not the same person that I was before I walked into that glass. And really it took me to the depths of despair because I didn't know consciously, obviously, because my brain wasn't working. I didn't know how to go forward, but I remember based on the, you know, the voice of God, I knew that I had to, there was no other way. So I chose to step into this place of allowing the universe, allowing my caregivers, allowing people to really help me because I had been taught not to ask for help.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think, you know, there was somebody that wrote about the longest journey is the whatever 14 inches from the head to the heart.
Yes. Yeah.
Truly, I had been living in my head. And when I finally got connected to my body, it changed everything for me because I realized, oh my God, we really are heart-centered, and I can't walk this earth until I get connected to my heart. And then that helped me do and connecting with others, inspiring them on their journey, because we all live in our head. Many of us live in our heads, not we all, but and you know, that led me to learning how to ask these questions because I believe most people don't know what they want out of life. They're afraid to even look at who they are, really. And we can't do that unless we spend time with ourselves and ask hard questions.
Yeah, absolutely. And for you, well, for anyone, I think it's also trusting the process.
It was.
I think we start and then we stop, and we start and then we stop. And I'm like, okay, you have to give this up, right? You have to take this pressure off of yourself because it's not the doing, right? It's the not doing. Which is really hard because we're always taught to do, put more effort in, try harder. And it's really the not doing.
Yeah, it's the being, but it is also, for me, I had to surrender. I had to surrender the image of who I was and how I was behaving and what I was doing in the world and what that identity was.
Yeah.
Knowing that this whole self was in here, but that it had to be excavated.
Yeah, I love that.
I knew it was in there. And I also knew, frankly, that process was going to create some kind of information or roadmap to help others. I just knew it.
And I think you did an amazing job.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm so grateful for that. I'm grateful for the opportunity. But honestly, what I said after I turned in my draft, I said, oh my God, the Pandora's box is open. My voice has been released. And this is exactly the opening that I needed in so many ways.
Yeah, I love it. And I felt the same way because it was my first time writing that, oh my God, my story's out there.
Yes.
And it really actually empowered me more than anything else because I'm like, it's out there. People can read it and it just is what it is. That's my story.
That's my story and I'm sticking to it.
Yeah.
You know what? And the growth that comes from that you had, the courage, I mean, truly from our calls before, it took a lot of courage for you to share that story. It was not an easy one to live, and it was probably just as difficult to share.
Yeah.
And you did it in a really thoughtful, I will say intelligent, engaging, meaningful way that was not judging. But it also wasn't a feel sorry for me victim at all. You really demonstrated how you moved through it and you became a thriver, right? As opposed to living in the other space. And honestly, look at you. Now you're doing your second book. So truly it has opened up your level of confidence for sure in a different way. Not that you're not confident, but right, just this space where like, okay, my voice is out there. I got to continue to
Yeah.
get it out there more.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
for good. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. So my last question, overall, have you read some other chapters? What did you think of the book? Or for someone that's listening to this and maybe hasn't picked up the book yet, what was your overall thoughts?
It's such a great question. And I'm going to look at the cover again because it just inspires me. The Ultimate Guide to Creating Your Soul Aligned Business, 25 Practical Strategies from the Experts. So for those of you listening, I would say, here's my impression. I'm a soul aligned leader. Some people have said, ooh, that kind of sounds woo woo, ooh, soul aligned business. What the heck, right? You did MBA training and it was very linear. I work in the architecture industry, very linear. My invitation to everybody, because my impression of reading these other chapters was really it takes a village and it takes a holistic and a differing experiences and expertise and practices to create a meaningful life. And so that's what I took away. Is like, I have so much respect for the different authors and what their journey has been.
Yeah.
It has not been easy for any of them. And so to everybody, we are all in this together. We've all struggled. But from reading the chapters, it is clear that there are strategies to help you, to help me, to help all of us really figure out how do we live our most rich, wealthy, I'll say wealthy, soul-aligned lives, and then how do we bring that into the work that we do? Because really we are here to help change the world, each one of us in our own way. And we can't do that until we really change ourselves. And then the impact becomes exponential. So I would say you will be wildly surprised and really ecstatic when you read some of these chapters, and really grounded and feeling just so warmed by some of the other chapters. And know that this is one of those books that you'll pick up time and time again, probably for the rest of your life, to go back to and refer to. So it's not just a one-time nightstand reading.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's a beautiful review. Thank you.
Yeah.
I felt that when I finished it, that there was a common thread that we all kind of had that same aha moment of this
Yes.
doesn't make my heart sing and I'm going in this direction.
Yes.
Like it's about me now.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And I didn't realize how normal, I guess, my story was until I read everyone's. I was like, here's 25 people I randomly picked, right? that offer to do this. And there's this common thread. So
yeah, that's a key thing. I think we as humans, and the research points to the fact that we think we're in this bubble alone, struggling because of whatever those unique circumstances are that we are going through at the time. But again, we're all humans. I believe we're all soul connected. And the fact that others like you and myself and the other authors have had that common thread.
yeah.
Everyone else on the face of the earth has that thread as well. They just may not be ready to look at it. Maybe they have been afraid to look at it. And this is the invitation to just gently with yourself start to kind of open the box, because the gem and the beauty that you are is really beautiful and the world needs you.
I love that. Thank you.
Yeah, thank
so
you.
much.
Yes.
Yeah. Robin, thank you for being a part of our podcast, a part of our book, sharing your story, everything that you've done for us. I really do appreciate you.
Thank you, Camille. I am so grateful for you and Laura and the rest of the team. I'm so grateful to be a part of this book. Hey, more to follow with you and with myself and with our other authors. So I can't wait.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
All right. Thank you, all of you listening today. For more information about the Soul Professional Movement, you can go to soulprofessional.com. This podcast is sponsored by the Natural Life Business Partnership, a global professional organization and business incubator for the soul-aligned professional. If you live in a higher vibration, have an alternative approach to business, and want to help repair the world, join us at our next meet and greet. You can find the next date at soulprofessional.com. All right, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.